The following is me, Sarah Neila Elkins, reading Book of CoL Recovery 3, Part 2, on Friday, November 15th, 2024. So, today I am reading Book of CoL Recovery 3, Part 2. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go. Recovery 3, Part 2.1. One could argue that until Book's identity is revealed, they're fictitious, at least when applying Schrodinger's logic. With no evidence beyond the propaganda about the supposed CoL study, who's to say if Book is a real person at all? They're an idea. A figure meant to be feared, to scare the masses into obeying the government. Do what we say or Book will come get you. You don't have to be afraid. Book doesn't exist, my friends. Jack Hamner, AM, blog 07/12/2039. A little after 3 in the afternoon, Andrea leaves work. She drives 2 hours across town to a different office building. This one's much larger than where she works. It will be more difficult for me to hone in on particular voices from the outside. Signs at the parking entrance indicate the main company housed here is Workspace, which specializes in short-term office rentals. There's also a law firm, therapist, and a psychic in the building. 10 years ago, I would have rolled my eyes at that last one, but currently I'm a walking long-range microphone with a built-in meat speaker. Views change. I'm a little more open-minded now. At least I don't look like a parabolic mic. I wait for Andrea to go inside before locking my helmet to my bike and approaching the building. She's climbing a tall, angular staircase when I enter the main lobby. Some potted trees decorate the area. A large artistic mobile hangs from the extremely high ceiling. Large abstract paintings with geometric shapes grace the walls. A receptionist wearing a charcoal gray suit, only one arm in their jacket sleeve, has their back to me as they operate a computer. They're stationed behind a very large curved desk with the name Workspace on the front. Gods, I feel like such a fucking stalker. I look around the lobby as I listen to Andrea's feet. She climbs a few flights before switching to an elevator. It's hard to tell how many floors she goes up, but before leaving the car. The sounds become muffled by the ambient noise in the building, so I can't tell what anyone's saying. "Can I help you?" A familiar voice asks from the reception desk. What the fuck? Why is he here? I turn around to do my best to not look like I've been following a woman I don't know all day long. Like I'm supposed to be here. Because I am. Just for what feels like increasingly creepy reasons. Yes you can, I say as I approach the reception desk. Thunderskull is in basic. His fluffy dark hair is brushed and pinned back with a couple small metal clips to keep it out of his eyes. He's wearing a charcoal gray suit jacket half draped over his right shoulder thanks to the pink cast on his right arm, the reason for the empty sleeve. I can see my signature on the front next to the foam strap keeping his arm against his chest. He hasn't recognized me. I was wondering what's on the, I pause to listen while pointing up. 7th floor. Do you have an appointment? He asks. Do I need one for the 7th floor? You do, he says. First 6 are Workspace offices. They can be rented hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly as needed. 7th and up are dedicated locations for a variety of businesses that require an appointment. No walk-ins. It's nice to see he's as this matter-of-fact and professional at work. He wasn't just talking this way when he helped me on a case a couple months ago. Thunderskull was a 7.5-foot tall skeleton with horns and flaming eye sockets at the time, his preferred form. I can see why it wouldn't be conducive to appear that way while working as a receptionist. Though, it would certainly help cut down on the riffraff if he did. Oh my gods, I'm the riffraff today. May I get your name? He asks. I have always been shit at making up fake names. That's why Dr. Hailu chose Book as my pseudonym for the study instead of using my given name, Paige. Book is also the name Thunderskull insisted I sign on his cast. It's right there in bold black marker, staring back at me. About that. He studies me for a moment before raising an eyebrow. Oh, I see. Nice look. Yeah. Thunderskull is damn sharp when he's not drunk. Now you know where I work, he says. Seems that way. You here on a job? Also, yeah. I'm sorry I can't help you. I could get fired. Oh, no, I totally understand. I also can't let you sneak up to the 7th floor, he says firmly. The look in his eyes tell me he would try to stop me, even if it cost him another arm. I wouldn't dream of it, I say with a forced smile. Sure you wouldn't. Is there a problem here, Vincent? A loud masculine voice says from behind me. Vincent? I mouth. Pretty sure his names are Vicente and Thunderskull, I think to myself. He seems to prefer Thunderskull, which I can't fault him for because it sounds rad as fuck. It's the first name that comes to mind when I think of the guy, even when he's not sporting the skull look. No, sir, Thunderskull says. I was just telling my friend here that I can't give him access to the 7th floor without an appointment. Workspace takes client confidentiality seriously. We respect the safety and privacy of the companies with long-term leases just as much as the short-term ones. Your friend? The man, who I presume is Thunderskull's boss, asks. He's in his 60s, balding, and 4 inches shorter than me. Thunderskull and I live in the same building, I explain. It's fine. I totally understand and was just leaving. Wait, what was it you want to know about the 7th floor? The boss asks. I glance at Thunderskull before looking to his boss. Because there's a law office up there and a divorce attorney, the boss explains before I can open my mouth to stop him. And a marriage counselor across the hall from them. That woman Andrea with the paranoid husband's been seeing them about this time of day, right, Vincent? She's cute. She come in yet? Boss? Thunderskull asks nervously. We can't give out that information. It's against company policy. Which one of us is in charge, Calavera? Calavera? His given name is literally Skull? You are, but it can be dangerous to give out personal information like that, sir, especially when we've been warned about a possible threat. You're fired. The room becomes dead silent. All I can hear are the muffled noises of the floors upstairs and heartbeats. Thunderskull's is pounding. What? His voice cracks with the question. I said you're fired, Vincent, the boss says cheerfully. Pack your things and go see Wanda. She'll help you fill out the termination papers. Oh my gods, I've just ruined Thunderskull's life. Shit. Whoa, you don't have to fire him for following the rules, I protest. Thunderskull was just doing his job. Vincent knows I make the rules, the boss sneers. Odio está trabajo de todos modos, Thunderskull says under his breath. What was that? His boss asks sharply. He says he hates this job anyway, I think to myself. I'll get my things, Thunderskull says before leaving. I want to say something. Throw my weight around. I could probably scare his boss into not firing him, but that would only make things worse. Would this guy be even more of an asshole to Thunderskull if he stayed at this job? Would he tell someone Book threatened him? I'm trying to fix my reputation, not make it worse. There are no good options here. Sorry about that, Mr. The boss lets the title hang. Bell, I say. Adrian Bell. Nice to meet you, Mr. Bell, the boss says before extending a hand for a shake. Jeff Simmons. We have the same last name? No! I shake his hand and manage not to throw up. Nice to meet you, Mr. Simmons. Quite a grip you have there, he says with a wince. I release his hand before I turn all his bones to putty. Well, I will be going now, I say stiffly. What? Let me show you to the 7th floor first. No! Okay. I hate this. Mr. Simmons leads me to an elevator connected to the lobby. He uses a key card to access it, and up we go. I really hate this. If my jacket was shiftable, I'd have become invisible by now just to get away from the guy. They'd probably search the building for me, but I'd just be noping right out of this job instead. Here we are, Mr. Simmons says. I really, really hate this. I follow him around while he explains the different offices and subsequently continues breaking just about every security and confidentiality rule the company probably has. This place is officially off my list for when I need to rent an office space. And here's the law firm, Simone & Jacobs. They specialize in divorce cases mostly, as well as other domestic issues, Mr. Simmons says. As Vincent said, there's supposedly some sort of threat against one of their clients, Andrea, but we haven't seen any signs of her husband showing up. Troy's a CoL. If he was a Class A, he could be here right now, you fool, I scream in my own head. Uh-huh, I say. The door to the law office opens. Andrea thanks someone on the other side profusely. She even bows a bit. It's evident she's flustered and has been crying. She freezes when she sees us in the hall, blocking her way. Andrea, Mr. Simmons says, you look good. How are you doing? That's it. This has to end. Thor on a bike, what the fuck? Nope, I say out loud before shutting my eyes. I can't do this. It's obvious she's been crying. What is wrong with you? Thunderskull was right. This is a gross violation of privacy, not to mention building security. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm sorry, what? Mr. Simmons asks loudly. I pinch the bridge of my nose for a moment, then gently clap my hands together before me. My name isn't Adrian Bell. I didn't even want to come up here. I was ready to leave. Who are you then? Simmons. What? I'm Simmons. Oh, gods, I hate this. This is what I get for taking this job. My name is Paige Simmons, I clarify. I gesture to Andrea, who is barely keeping it together. Her creepy-ass husband hired me to tail her, but it's obvious he's the problem. You're Detective Paige Simmons, I say. Book, the one who signed Thunderskull's cast. I do not add that I'm the reason he's in a cast. Troy hired you to spy on me? Andrea asks. I bow to her. He did. I am so sorry. I don't understand, she says in disbelief. He hates CoLs. Why would he hire one to follow me? Especially you. I have a feeling we really need to talk, Mrs. Smith, I say. I have a feeling you need to get out of my fucking building before I call security, Mr. Simmons says sharply. Andrea walks over to me and nods. I'll walk them out. Recovery 3, Part 2.2. Troy Smith was a walking red flag. Andrea is more evidence to support that deduction. She's wearing a purple cable knit sweater and jeans with boots. Her right eye has a red subconjunctival hemorrhage on the sclera. She managed to just barely cover up another bruise on her right cheek with makeup. I only noticed because I know what to look for. Some of the concealer rubbed off when she dried her eyes while crying at the lawyer's office. We ride the elevator down in silence. Neither of us talk as we walk through the lobby and go outside. It's chilly and damp. Looks like rain's on the way. I'm sorry, Andrea says finally. Whoa, no. You do not need to apologize, I say. If anything, I should be the one apologizing again. I realized your husband was a red flag the moment I met him, but I took the job anyway. I mean, he hasn't paid, and I didn't sign anything, but, I mean, asking you if you're okay doesn't really make sense either, does it? She stops walking and stares at me. What? I've really got to get used to people staring at me. You've got a bruise on your right cheek and on the white of your eye. From what I could tell, when I met him, Troy's a lefty and an absolute piece of shit, I explain. He is, she says heavily. Do you mind if I ask a few questions while I walk you to your car? I understand if you'd rather I not, I say. I don't mind. We begin in the direction of her vehicle. I keep an eye and ear out for any signs that Troy may be invisible and watching us, or flying overhead. Sure, her husband told Wingate he's a Class D, but he could have been lying. The only things I hear are traffic from the surrounding roads, various animals like the loud bird that bothered me earlier, and one person sitting at the bus stop outside of the parking lot. An A or S Class CoL could shift to become an animal, but nothing in the area is acting suspiciously. Has he ever used his powers against you? And what Class CoL is he? I ask. He hasn't that I know of, she says. He's not registered, so I don't know his class. But he knows things he shouldn't, like when I leave home early or haven't done some chore around the house or when I've been on the phone with my mother. He knows things before he comes in the house and is already angry. Do you think he might be invisible? I don't know. Maybe he's listening somehow, she says nervously. Which is exactly what I've been doing to you all day like a colossal creep, I berate myself. Troy never liked CoLs, Andrea continues as we walk through the increasingly damp air. He was convinced they were some sort of shadow government conspiracy. Since he became one, things got worse. He won't stop raving about how CoLs are destroying the fabric of reality, especially you. I guess that's what he meant at the coffee shop about me tearing the building apart, I mutter. I don't think he's very powerful, she says, or I'd be dead. I crack 6 of my teeth, clenching my jaw. My modified ear aches from the noise. Andrea hears the pops, stops and crouches, covering her head with her arms. She looks around, alarmed. What was that? She asks in a hushed whisper. I repair the damage and shake my head. I am so sorry, that was me. Everything's okay. There's no one nearby. She cautiously gets up. What was that? I broke a tooth. It sounded like gunshots. Several teeth. Why? Evidently, I'm having trouble controlling my powers. Not good. Because I have no doubt I was hired by the wrong smith. I've got to be incredibly careful. If I run into Troy while I'm pissed off, I could very, very easily kill him. Even if I'm not back to Class S level yet. Class A's can be deadly when angered. The fact that I could heal my ear and teeth just now and have the repairs stick without feeling tired means I'm at the upper levels of Class A at the very least. Do you have a safe place to stay? I ask. What? I don't feel comfortable with you staying at your house, I say. Troy's paranoid, enough to hire me despite hating CoLs. Especially you. He really hates you the most. I get that, I reply with a nod. He actually thought you were made up, she says. When you, came out a couple months ago, he lost it. Said you were a crisis actor or something. Then you kept showing up in the news. I have tried to be pretty open about my recovery from power exhaustion. Mostly, however, I've been doing what I can to remedy the problem of my existence as Book having been built up in the public consciousness as some sort of monster who scares other CoLs. I've known for years some parents were using Book as a means to get their kids to behave, but it didn't really sink in until recently. People in general are terrified of me. People have been scared of me for a while, I say. A friend of mine thinks I can change that eventually. How? I smile weakly. By showing the world I'm a normal person? You just broke your own teeth, she points out, loud enough for me to think they were gunshots. How is that normal? Not going to mention the speaker I have built into my side playing everything I hear to my phone, I think to myself. I take a deep breath and let out a shaky laugh. It's really not. Andrea doesn't want to be alone. It starts raining when we reach her sedan. She gives me a ride to my bike. I follow her car to the parking lot exit and we reach a stop sign. I finally see the sole person who's been sitting in the bus stop this entire time. I'm sure the canopy would work a lot better if the rain was coming in any other direction. But as it stands, he's getting soaked. Oh, shit. Thunderskull! I call to him. Andrea rolls down her window. Is there something wrong? No, one sec, I say before dropping the kickstand on my bike and dismounting. I don't bother turning it off. If someone is foolish enough to try to steal it, I'll just grab them and probably undo all the progress that's been made rehabbing my reputation. Thunderskull's staring at me as I approach. I remove my helmet and he realizes who I am. Here is the illustration that I still need to go back and finish because it's just in the pencils. You okay? I ask. I am so sorry about earlier. It's all my fault you lost your job. I'm fine, he says. Bus is late again. Let me give you a ride, I say, if you're okay with a detour first. We need to pick up some things from Andrea's house. He glances at my bike, and then Andrea's car, then me. You want to give me a ride on your bike? The dude blushes. It's good to see he doesn't hate me. He can't ride on your bike, Andrea says. She's parked the car and gotten out. It's not safe. He doesn't have a helmet and his arm's in a cast. I'll give Thunderskull a ride. Really? He asks. Yes, she says. Oh my gods, thank you. There are no signs we've been followed to Andrea's house. Even an invisible person makes noise, usually. Keep the lights off, I tell everyone. I will. I know my way around. I'll be in the bedroom packing a bag, Andrea says as she lets myself and Thunderskull inside. What should I do? Thunderskull asks me. Keep an eye out, I say. If her husband Troy shows up, holler. What does he look like? I stare at him a moment. He stares back. Stupid question? I get my phone out, which is still recording audio, and pull up photos of Troy Smith to show Thunderskull. Like this, but last time I saw him, he'd shifted his hair to this color. I changed my hair to the same burnt umber shade. Wow. Okay, Thunderskull says. I changed my hair back to black. Why didn't you just copy him? I stow my phone back in my pocket, the pocket of my shirt near my ribs. Dude's a creep and an abuser. I don't want to shift him. Good point. What if he shifted more? Thunderskull asks. Just let me know if anyone who looks particularly pissed off shows up, I say. And stay inside with the door locked. He nods, and I go deeper into the house. If Troy really is a more common clue, say class D or C, it's unlikely he could modify his hearing to know what Andrea's been up to in the house without being in the building, which means he has other means of knowing what's going on. If I'm correct, we're operating on quickly diminishing time. I shift one of my eyes to better see infrared and quickly find the first camera via the lens's reflection. You can use the same trick with the cell phone's front-facing camera in the dark. We've got cameras, I say out loud, loud enough for Andrea to hear. What? She pokes her head out of the bedroom. I point to a tiny spy camera stuck in a picture frame on the small dresser near the door. Then I turn and spot 2 more micro cameras around the living room. We really don't have time to linger. I race to Andrea and speak as calmly as possible. Forget your clothing. Grab your essentials, medications, personal records, that sort of thing. We are getting you out of here now. Right, she nods before running back into her bedroom. I follow, not that I can help much. Troy changed the combination to the fire safe, she says from the bathroom. It's under the bed. Analog or electric? I ask as I squat down and pull the safe out. Never mind, it's analog. He said it would still work if it got nuked, she says. I'm already working to crack the safe when she walks up behind me with a used grocery bag in hand full of pill bottles and jewelry. The safe is an older model with only 5 tumblers. Easy, really, if you know what you're doing. Extra easy if you've got superpowers. I don't know the combination. That's fine, I say as I feel the final tumbler fall into place and open the door. Don't need it. I thought you'd break it open, she says as she squats down on the floor. What? No, I protest. That could damage the contents, and why ruin a perfectly good safe? Inside are several folders full of documents and a couple small jewelry boxes. Andrea gasps next to me. Oh my God, it's gone. What is? I ask. His gun. He has a gun? I ask. He has a gun! Thunderskull screams from the front door. Holy shit, he has a gun! 2 shots ring out from in front of the house. Doesn't sound like a high-caliber weapon. There's also screaming. It's Troy. He's pissed and rambling about his wife cheating on him with me. Apparently, we're all going to die today. He's vowing to kill us. So, that's fun. Stay here, I tell her before leaving the room. Andrea, Thunderskull, both of you need to be in the back of the house. Put as many walls between you and Troy as possible. Thunderskull is already running towards Andrea's bedroom. What about you? I'll be fine. It's not like I haven't been shot before. Wait, what? Get to the bedroom and keep Andrea safe. He nods firmly, flames flickering from his eyes, the only visible shift I've seen him do today. Right. On it, Book. And that is the end of part 2. If you've enjoyed listening to me read Book of CoL, please like and subscribe here on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, and read the series in its entirety on Tapas for free. Thank you. Please don't forget my other novel, Slayer of Yggdrasil, has made it to round 2 in the Tapas Action Fantasy Novel Writing Contest. Voting is going on now to the beginning of December, so please give it a look, give it a like, give it a read, and give it a vote. You could help me win a writing job, which I really need. Thank you for tuning in.